Hey everybody, it's Chris at Oak Street Garden Shop. Let's talk plants. I've got Coleus here today, and Coleus happens to be our plant of the week. Coleus, if you look right here, Harry, this is just a sampling of the different leaves of Coleus. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Coleus plants. They're native to Asia, the temperate climates of Asia, and how you can use them in pots and planters. Coleus, back in the Victorian times, was a very, very popular plant. It was used in bedding. It was used in all sorts of different ways in pots and mostly in bedding. And it was only really a couple different patterns as far as I can tell on the leaf. So it was used, it was probably overused. And at some point, Coleus kind of lost favor. It kind of became that grandmother plant that, Coleus, whatever. Well, then at some point years ago, the hybridizers thought, okay, we're going to play around with Coleus and we're going to cross and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're going to come up with some different leaf colors, different sizes, different heights, different patterns of the leaf. And also, we're going to try to make them more sun tolerant. The old Coleus would only grow in the shade. Shade was its friend. Well, now you can go to a nursery or garden shop anywhere and you can find lots of different Coleus, lots of different leaves. Most of them will handle sun. And the interesting thing about Coleus is that you can have one plant like this one right here, this whitewater, Coleus whitewater, and in the sun, it will look differently than it will look if you have it in filtered sun or shade. They all work in the shade. Most of them now work in the sun. But say this one right here, you might have in the sun this becoming more green, more chartreusey green, but in the shade, you might have that reddish spot on the leaf come out more. It really depends on the aspect and what kind of sun you have. You can, like I said, have the same plant and have it look differently wherever you put it. I've used a lot of different Coleus in these planters, and I've just added some things that you can see kind of play off the Coleus. It's easy to do. I've got 2 or 3 Coleus in each of these planters, and I've combined them with a carex, little grass that will spill out over the edge, some asparagus fern, there's some creeping jenny right here. So all of these are going to get quite large, and that's the other thing. When you're talking about maintaining a Coleus planting, you need to keep them watered. They like moisture. They like evenly moist soil. They don't want to dry out, especially if you have them in the sun here in the southeast. The other thing, and here I want you to kind of focus right in on that. When you have a plant that, these are going to get big. When you have something, let's pretend this is much, much taller, much bigger. You can take that and cut it back. You want to take it right above where you've got 2 leaflets coming out there. And that, when you cut it, when it gets so big and maybe it's out of control and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Cut it back. And where those 2 are right now, those are going to branch out. So you're going to make that fuller. And it's really a great way to maintain and keep plantings looking good. So that is Coleus. And the one last thing I wanted to show you was this planter, which just has a little Coleus in there as an accent. It's color echoing the leaf of the geranium. This is going to fill out all through this planter. And again, if it got too much, if it started covering over the million bells, it can be clipped back. Don't be afraid to show it who's boss. That's what I always say. That's Coleus, our plant of the week. Come see us. We're here from 9 to 5:30, Monday through Saturday.